and welcome back to the channel. In this week's video, I would like to speak to those of you who did not grow up with a homemaker in the home or feel unqualified and even overwhelmed because of the skills you may be lacking. It is often assumed that I grew up in a house with a homemaker and learned much of what I know from her, that those skills somehow transferred over to me, and this is what created my love for it. But this couldn't be further from the truth. I have spoken about this before, however, this is something that has been on my mind because I know so many of you also did not grow up this way, but have a desire to be better at it and want to create the sort of home you see other women possessing. What is the truth is that I grew up with a mother who hated homemaking. In fact, as a child in her care, you could feel her misery day to day as she simply existed within those walls with us. She made no attempt to make our home comfortable, and there was no joy in any of her actions when it came to this role. This made a considerable impression on me as a young woman. I left home thinking that only a career could bring me the happiness and fulfillment I saw my mother lacking, and that being a mother or a homemaker of any kind would mean the death of my dreams and a life of drudgery. In my late teens and early 20s, I discovered Martha Stewart. I would watch her channel in secret, amazed at the things she was doing. Whatever she touched, she made beautiful. It was one of the rare times I had seen anyone be so intentional about homemaking. The moment I got an apartment, I instinctively wanted to make it a home, so I took what little money I had and began buying small things to make it feel like mine. This grew into a love for not only creating a visually appealing home, but one that felt comforting to be in. In secret, away from the judgmental eyes of my friends, I began doing little things to learn. I began teaching myself how to cook, how to sew, how to keep a cleaning schedule, and in many instances, even learning the basics to clean something properly. I always worked outside the home, but upon my arrival each day, I would tidy up and do my best in the kitchen for dinner. Most importantly in these moments, I learned that I could become the woman I wanted to be regardless of my upbringing, and so can you. The love I have for homemaking is not only from those self-taught skills and defeats that eventually led to triumphs, but also in appreciating what it means to do this work and the incredible impact it has on a home's environment. Having lived in a home almost completely void of it, I can tell you firsthand the undeniable difference. It is night and day. I want to openly share this part of myself so that those of you who feel cheated from having not learned from someone or who feel unqualified for the job now can know that these things don't ultimately matter. Everything you do not know now can be learned, and the skills you acquire will last a lifetime. As someone who's been there, I have come to realize that being inadequate is only a temporary space to be in for any of us. It is not a destination, but a cue telling us where we need to focus our attention. In time, as we gain new skills, our confidence grows, and it becomes easier to enjoy doing it. If you would like some help this year and want to improve in any area of your home, I have a free printable 2025 homemaking guide for you that will help you stay on track and keep organized. You can find that free printable in the description box below. You can also find my Homemaking for Beginners workbook ebook I wrote sharing my personal story with advice, tips, practices I do in my own home, printables, and more. I hope you enjoyed today's video, as I also shared some clips from my homemaking week. On this particular day, I made my sister some sourdough cinnamon rolls for her birthday. I set my alarm, got up, and made them so that we could take them over for her fresh from the oven and before they got going for the day. To make them, I make a simple dough with flour, starter, honey, butter, baking powder, and soda. These make soft, delicious sourdough cinnamon rolls without a wait or rise time, so you can bake them the same morning, which is exactly what I did here. As usual, you can find the full recipe in the description box below. I take the dough ball and roll it out into a rectangular shape. I spread a mix of butter, cinnamon, and brown sugar across the top of the dough, then I roll it out into a log and cut the rolls. These will bake for about 30 minutes, and while still warm, I spread a cream cheese frosting over the top. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's homemaking video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next one.